Dr. Jayampati Wickramaratne, an attorney at law Lal Vijayanayak, headed the drafting of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. However, amid several complications created by the amendment, those who drafted the amendment have expressed their views to the media, criticising the amendment.
Speaking to the Island newspaper, Dr. Jayampati Wickramaratne says if the initial draft of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was approved in its original form, the prevailing issues would have not arisen. The MP further adds that amendments introduced after the 19th Amendment to the Constitution had weakened the latter. If the initial draft of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was passed in Parliament, this situation wouldn't have arisen. You wouldn't have two authorities fighting over state expenditure heads. This amendment was sabotaged. We had to make it lighter to obtain a two-thirds majority. The best example is the composition of the Constitutional Council. If the original draft of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was approved, there would be no use of a president. A conspiracy took place while preparing the draft itself. Preparing and drafting a constitution and its amendments is the responsibility of the Minister of Justice. However, this was gazetted as a subject that comes under the purview of the Prime Minister.
හැබැයි අගමැතිතුමා ගැසට් කරවගත්තා ඒක අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාගේ විෂයක් විදියට.
මේක ජනාධිපතිතුමා දැනුවත්ව අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයා විසින් කළේ.
අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාගේ ඉල්ලීම මත.
The President complied with the request made by the Prime Minister. Though it was made a subject ministry under the purview of the Prime Minister, I had to look into this matter as the Minister of Justice. The Attorney General's Department and Legal Draftsman Department comes under the Ministry of Justice. This was changed more than 10 times. Finally, I informed the President regarding the flaws of the amendment and asked him not to agree to it. Finally, he summoned those in charge and discussed this matter. The Prime Minister did not want to keep hold of certain powers. The Prime Minister would have been the leader of Parliament and the leader of the Cabinet. If this happened, there will be no point in having a President. The President could not change this even after informing the Prime Minister. However, the people of this country were fortunate. The independent judiciary gave a clear decision. If the sentence was to be amended, two-thirds majority was not enough and a public referendum was required.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ 3න් 2 මදි අනිවාර්යෙන් යා යුතුයි ජනමත විචාරණයකට කියලා.
අද නැත්තම් ඒකත් ඇතුළත් වෙයි 19 සංශෝධනය වෙන්නේ.
ඒකත් අද ඒම තමයි තිබුණ යෙදිලා තිබුණේ. එහෙම වුණා නම් අද අපිට අම්බන්තොට විතරක් නෙවෙයි කොළඹ වරාය විතරක් නෙවෙයි
ලංකාවේ සම්පූර්ණ බලය අනිල් අතුරු කන්න. දැන් අපි කොහොමද නිවැරදි කරගන්නේ?
මේක සංශෝධනය කරන්න ඕනේ.
කොහොමද කරන ක්‍රමවේදය?
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට මේ සංශෝධනය.
The amendment must be presented in Parliament and approved with a two-thirds majority. At present, the President can take the initiative. Ultimately, it is the Parliament that must amend the Constitution.
තුමාට පුළුවන් ආරම්භයක් ගන්න නමුත් අවසාන වශයෙන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ මේ ව්‍යවස්ථාව සංශෝධනය කරන්න ඕනේ.
දැන් 19 ගේ නැවත සංශෝධනය කළ හැකිද?
කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. 3න් 2ක බලයක් තියෙනවා ඕන වෙලාවක පුළුවන්.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තාමත් රටට අවස්ථාවක් තිබෙනවා 19 සංශෝධනය කරගන්න.
කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ.
It is now clear that the country cannot go forward with the power struggle between the two points of authorities. There should be one power of authority. We should either go forward with a complete presidential system or a parliamentary system. The President came into power with the promise of bringing the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. They said the executive powers of the President must be reduced and must be vested in Parliament. They claimed that the powers vested in the President were being transferred to the Prime Minister. None of this has taken place through the 19th Amendment. There is only one power that was transferred to the Prime Minister from the President, and that is the power to appoint ministers. The President's powers have been reduced and transferred to the Parliament that represents the people and the Constitutional Council that is appointed through the Constitution itself. Those who have no knowledge in drafting a constitution made this. The 19th Amendment was drafted to suit the needs of the NGOs. If Ranil Wickremesinghe, Mahinda Rajapaksa, Sambandhan and the JVP can all agree to abolish the 19th Amendment, 2020 will be a good year for Sri Lanka.
19 අහෝසි කරන්න 20යි 20 හොඳ අවුරුද්දක් රටට